was seemingly a normal day for me. And when I got up in the morning, I noticed something very strange. My conscious self was sitting up in a corner of my room watching me sleep. So I actually didn't wake up until after that time where my body had separated from my consciousness, and it was watching me. And I woke up like I would every other morning and began to go about my day, and my consciousness was watching and following. So I got out of bed, I went to brush my teeth, I did all the things that I would ordinarily do, except for it felt like I was like on remote control, like almost like I was just doing the things robotically that I would ordinarily do throughout the course of my day, but without my consciousness inside of me. And I watched it. Now, everything that I would ordinarily do, I ate my breakfast, I got on the school bus, I went to school, I mingled with my friends, I had this experience which was seemingly, to me it was so surreal, because how could I do this without being inside my body, which was, I'd lived that way all my whole life, and all of a sudden my consciousness is outside my body watching me. It was almost like my mind, or my conscious mind, whatever you want to call it, was like a balloon attached to my wrist, and everywhere I went, I followed it with my body. And so at the normal routine things of my day, it just kept happening all day long. I went home, I had dinner with my family, and there I am watching myself talk to my mom and my dad, and them asking me what I did that day. And then I got tired and I went to bed, and when I was asleep, I watched myself from the corner of the ceiling again. Next morning, the same thing happens all night long, and I'm watching. I'm wondering what happened to me. How come I'm not in my body, right? Why am I not in me the way I would ordinarily be? I had no answer. But it's so weird, because I knew that it was me. I knew that it was my awareness of myself and who I am, watching this little person below me. And so we were separate. The two things were completely separate. The next day I wake up, my body wakes up, I go about my day the same way. Absolutely nothing changed in my life, even though my consciousness was outside of my body. And, I would walk to school, I would talk to my friends, I'd do the normal things, I would skateboard and play like a little boy, and my consciousness was just there again. Talked to my parents, went to bed, still on the ceiling, watching my body. Next day it happened again. Same thing, same routine. Now, and I start to wonder, how long is this going to last? Like, I thought, I didn't know how long I was going to be outside of my body watching all this going on. So at the end of the third day, my body went to sleep. I'm sitting in the corner of the ceiling. And then the next morning, which would be the beginning of the fourth day of this experience, when I woke up, I was back in my body. And I was fully aware of all the things that I had seen myself do during that period of 3 days that I was outside my body. But I began to realize something about my life. And that is, I realized that I am not my body. That whatever I am, whatever you want to call me, was a singular consciousness, and that it was separate from my body. So even though I realized that even though our body and our conscious mind are intertwined together, that in fact they aren't actually stuck together. It's like you don't have a container that your conscious mind can't be removed from. And so as I began to realize, that this was a very strange experience for me, but at the same time I saw that I'm not my body, that my consciousness is separate and different from my body. And so that began a whole series of experiences in my life that changed the course of my life.